Are you like making a voice recording or like, hello, Dana? How's it going? You're record- you're recording yourself modding, okay. So that nobody blames shit on you. I might gotta restart because I took a phone call, so that fucked up the algorithm, I guess. I might gotta hit a quick restart. Or should I just keep it going? I don't know what to do. What's up, Cusp? So how is everybody's day going? Let's see here. It's raining. Bitcoin is crashing. You're buying the dip now? Wait, why is Bitcoin crashing? I thought with our economy, Elon said that all that stuff would be good. Now Bitcoin is crashing. That's a little weird.
Now, what you had said, T-Bone, because you went on a phone call.
Oh yeah, I said that I'm not a big MOBA guy. I don't know if you play Marvel Rivals, but that's the closest that I get to that type of style of gaming.
Yeah, I see you be
Um,
playing that. That's not on. That's not on. That's not a mobile game. Dang.
well, no, mobile. I meant MOBA. I think it's. I don't. Let me look up what a MOBA is.
Mobile and it's multi. It's something. It's something like that.
Multiplayer online battle arena.
Oh,
That
you
type
don't
of
like
stuff.
stuff like that.
Yeah, that's just not me. I'm more of like a run and gun type situation.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So you're like, you might like, what's that game called? Oh God, I gotta think of it. But you might like that game. Cause that game, you pick different characters, and some of the characters is based off of like fairy tales. So you'll have like Peter Pan. I mean Peter, which is Peter Pan. Then you'll have Cindy, which is Cinderella, and all them got different powers. And then yeah, so you might actually like that game. Let me
That might actually be fire. I might play that one.
yeah. Now that one is open. Now you do have different modes and stuff like that, but it's open. So yeah,
Okay.
let me find that one. I forgot what it's called.
I just know I'm ready to fucking eat, bro. I got a fucking. I got some Chinese food. I'm ready to. You're not greedy, just looking to make some money. Anybody who invests in, I just don't get that type of shit, bro. Like I don't know how y'all niggas can invest fucking money in hopes that the shit like pans out for you. It's just I don't know. It's just not a me thing. I'm more of a I say, guaranteed aspect. Like this is why I don't like commission versus like salary. Salary base is way
Oh,
better.
so you
Yeah.
don't gamble. I'm sorry, you don't GAMBLE then.
I technically I still do, but it's not to the same level. When I put parlays
Gotcha.
in on like the app and shit, I'm putting down like $1 parlays. And that's just because it helps you to like watch the game and keep engaged with specific players and shit like that. I'm not looking to put down $100 so that I can get a $500 payout. Like that's just not something that I do. I don't gamble that type of big. I mean, I guess you could say it's on the same thing, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's a different type of gamble, right? It's not the same. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, yeah, I'm the chill type person. I'm
yeah,
not putting my
your
entire
risk is a
paycheck
lot
on.
lower than someone who put in 50. Then,
Yeah,
so yeah.
well, because because gambling is supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be no shit where you're trying to make a career out of the shit. Like predicated on living your life predicated on luck is stupid. What do you want? I'm getting tired of having animals, bro. Oh my gosh. Losing out on those investments with Bitcoin just pisses me off. Especially buying the dip now. No, no puppy cam. He's in timeout. Let me tell you what this motherfucker did, bro. Fucking me and my girl's anniversary was yesterday, right? So we went out to this fancy ass restaurant. I'm talking about my steak, medium rare, by the way. My steak was 70 fucking dollars. It was a $71 steak, right? It was so fucking good, fresh off the grill. But I couldn't eat all of it, right? So what do? I take it to go. I ate hella fucking steak on my break today. And I put it to the side because my girl was gonna eat, and I was like, you know what, go ahead and only hear one dog barking in like the barrier that we have set up. Apparently, my dog has learned how to jump over the barrier. Not only did he eat all of my fucking steak, I'm talking about all of my fucking steak, he also proceeded to shit on the fucking bed. So he's like in fucking. I'm telling you, that nigga is in timeout, bro. For like maybe the next 50 fucking days. I don't know. You're eating a $70 fucking steak and not getting a punishment. I don't give a fuck if he's a baby. That's $70 worth of fucking steak, bruh. 70 fucking dollars of ribeye. Hell no. That's 70 fucking dollars of ribeye that nigga just ate, bro. I don't care. That nigga's in timeout until I get over this shit, bro. That's the biggest bill I've ever gotten from a fucking meal. The biggest. And then my cat wanna piss everywhere and he trying to fuck the female cat that's walking around here. So this nigga on bullshit all fucking day. This nigga. And then he gonna look at me as I say that. What? What? I ready to fight this nigga, bruh. We've been fighting like no joke for the past 2.5 years. I'm talking about he'll just like look at me and then put paws on my ass for no fucking reason. Yeah, I don't care that he's a baby. Like when I tell you my room looks completely fucking trash right now, it looks a fucking atrocious in there. It's fucking ridiculous. And there's absolutely no reason for this shit, bro, because he fucking knows better. He knows when to go to the cage. He knows how to sit, how to lay down, how to stay. There's no fucking excuse for him. My other dog is fine. Shit. He's such a chill motherfucker, bro. The only time he ever does anything outside the norm is when he barks, and that's because like we'll leave and he'll like get abandonment issues, so he'll start barking because he thinks we're abandoning him. But other than that, that dog, he just chills. As a matter of fact, let me go check on this nigga because I know he about to do some gremlin shit.
Okay, it's called Smash Legends.
Smash Legends. You get that. But my room looks so fucking awful, bro. This shit is fucking ridiculous.
What happened?
And my dog, I was just telling a story about my dog.
Oh yeah, I heard that. That mean he messed up the room.
He messed up everything, bro.
While you were gone?
Yeah.
Oh wow. What did you do to that dog, T-Bone?
I don't even know who A is. What did you say?
I said, what did you do to that dog?
I put him in a cage in the bathroom and then turned the lights off.
Oh yeah, he mad at you. Yeah.
But he's in timeout, so I don't give a damn.
Yeah, he was just being a dog. I mean, what did you expect?
I'm sorry. Like, that's fine. Y'all can use that as an excuse. I don't give a damn.
No, I'm not. I'm not using it as an excuse.
Dogs
I'm just
know
saying
better,
it's
bro.
just being a
This
dog.
little villain ass nigga, he know better.
What did you expect him to be? Not a dog? Like,
I expected him to follow the rules and not fuck up
what's
the
the
road and
rules?
eat my $70 fucking steak.
So he smelled a good steak and he ate it. I'm pretty sure that. Okay, I'm gonna.
There's a boundary that's set up in the room, and he knows not to go over that barrier, and he somehow found a way to climb over it to get to it.
Well, you know what you should do? You should put a piece
We're
of
buying
food
the
down in
gate
front of the
coming up.
barrier. You should put a piece of food down in front of the barrier. Get out of sight on the or put something right there where you can see and he won't know it, and then you watch how he does it.
Oh, I know how he does it now.
Oh, okay. So you all right? Okay, got it.
Yeah, he's able. His claws are very sharp, so he's able to like hook onto the wall and then climb over it with his strength.
Oh, that's pretty crafty.
Yeah.
It's the long side for me.
Hello, Mr. The A.
Yo, how y'all doing?
Chilling. What do you want to talk about? Dogs? You want to talk about dogs?
I mean, I don't mind, but I haven't had a dog in a minute, so
I think I remember having a conversation with you. I'm pretty sure you're a bigot.
nah, actually,
His voice just sounds so familiar, bruh.
I used to join your panels like maybe like almost a year back or something. Like it's been a while.
Are
Nah,
trans women women?
are trans women women? Yeah.
Uh-huh. Oh, okay. All right, carry on. Go ahead.
You got to think
I
about that one for
mean,
a minute, T-Bone. He trying to get on your good side.
It might
actually,
be. Jesse.
nah, I wouldn't. I don't kiss ass, so. But I mean, I kind of wanted to hear what y'all were talking about on woke ideology because I never fully understand how people use it today. Like, I know maybe 5, 10 years back, that's when I really kind of understood what it meant. And especially when I used to read old, you know what I mean, like things back from like the 60s, 70s, when it was like really uh kind of essential or whatever. But now people kind of use it differently, so I'm trying to understand where you're coming from on how it's like harmful or whatever. Because I don't
Yeah.
even use the word, so
So when I just to be clear, when I refer to woke ideology, I'm specifically talking about what the right would call woke ideology, and this would just be too far left leaning views, almost to the sense where, and it's not to say. I don't know if you have ever heard the phrase, if you go too far left, you end up right. I don't know if you've ever heard that
I
before,
have
but
heard that.
some of yeah, so some of the ideologies of like I simply talk about how white people are treated on this platform, and there's a lot of things that like I hate to fucking hear, but I have to kind of sit and digest in that fucking reality of white people being bullied all over this fucking app, right? Just for the simple fact that they're white, feeling as though they don't have a voice. When they go to the ballot in November, how are they casting their ballot? Individuals who used to be Democrat, right, or would call themselves independent. When you see the way that the left carries themselves, a lot of the time, whether it be politically on this app, there's a form of bigotry that I say when it comes to how we're handling pushing for progressive ideology. Instead of going in the streets and marching, instead of putting people in political power, now we have this sort of superiority complex where it's a forced algorithm, right? We're forcing
Mm-hmm.
individuals to get with the program. Otherwise, you're just going to be labeled a racist. You're going to be labeled a bigot. You're going to be labeled a piece of shit that doesn't need to be platformed or whatever the case may be. And I think that that hurts the cause because there's a lot of people who could not to say that they could change their votes, but like a lot of their ideologies would be pushed more towards social programs or things that are going to be more progressive. But because they feel like their voice isn't heard, they don't want the left to win because they know what could come about that, right? I spoke on trans issues one time where I talked about trans individuals fighting for them to be in female sports specifically. When we talk about the bathroom, it's not an issue for me. I think just pissing, whatever, do what you got to do in the bathroom. But when it comes to sports, there's a clear reason why there's a pushback from the right on not having trans women in female sports. Very simple. It's not hard to understand. It's as simple as treating other people's the way you want to be treated and the equality aspect that we talk about on the left. But when we sit here and talk about the trans ideology and putting them in sports, now all of a sudden it becomes a problem and you can't understand the logic of it. So that's just my personal opinion on how some, not all, but some of these ideologies from the left and the woke ideology, I guess you would call it, or how they would define it, can be harmful to the cause and push us back.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, I didn't really think about it like that. I kind of just I don't know cuz I always be hearing people saying woke, but I never understand what it means because the context is different from the way that I always used it and heard it. Now it's like when people speak about woke, it's almost like everything has to be very perfect. Everything has to be like it's more like more general now when before it was strictly about like you know, this systemic thing has this effect and this needs to be we need to have awareness on it. And now it's almost like everything needs to be perfect, everything needs to be this, that. But I don't know if that's actually how people use it though. It's almost like that's how I'm trying to understand that they're using it. I'm using like context clues. And I get what you're saying before. It's the way that people are going about uh these issues. And I do think that the way in which the left goes about certain issues, I think could be better. But um each side will always have its negatives or whatever. But yeah, I agree with you, Granger.
I mean, I'm weak. I always ask this question from this standpoint of, and you can answer this. I don't. Are you white by chance?
I'm black biracial.
Okay. Do you think that white people, when they were going to the ballot box, right? When we say all white people are racist by way of the system, do you think that that had any part to play on how they were casting their ballot in November?
Uh, wait, I don't see the relevance. Are you saying like there's a disparity, or what are you trying to
Yeah.
say?
So white people, right? So white people being called racist for the simple fact of living.
Uh-huh.
Do you think that that had any bearing, like that ideology? Let's say ideology. Sorry, that ideology had any bearing on how they were going to cast their ballot in November?
Well, I think that they would use that ideology as like they would counter that by voting for Trump,
Yeah,
if that's what
and
you're asking
that's
for.
exactly the point that I'm bringing out. Is and it it's harmful to the Democrats because while we're sitting here trying to explain things on a deeper level of how this system operates, white people who don't understand this are getting into their feelings. So the only thing they hear is, "Oh, you're telling me I hate black people. I don't hate black people. Why would you say something like that?" This is the dangerous type of rhetoric that comes from this woke ideology from the left. And this is dangerous to our society. They need to not be in power.
Wait, is this a continue? Are you trying to say that by saying all whitey people are racist, this is counterproductive, and that we shouldn't be saying this because other people will misinterpret that and cast their votes based on that and act in a way that's going to be harmful to the black community? Is that what you're saying?
I am saying that I think that it's plausible and that the conversation around that needs to happen. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Mm,
Do
I
you
think
disagree?
I think it needs to be well. See, you can that I haven't even thought about that. So you can say that all white people are racist, right? Um, you can pretty much say anything, and if someone is uneducated, they will automatically misinterpret what you're saying, right, and get defensive. So if you're trying to say like, oh, we should just kiss ass, to white people, um, I don't think that's the case. I think you need to push certain things out there, whether it sounds wrong or not. Like BLM, right? Oh, you're pushing something that Black Lives Matter and every other life doesn't matter. Like, are you kidding me? Like, no, they're gonna sit here and say all lives matter. They're gonna sit here and do whatever they want, no matter what. So, I think that we should still push BLM, whether they want to push ALM or not, and realize that um, Black lives have not mattered in the past and present future to other people. So it's not about the. I don't think it's about the phrase. I think it's about the message, and I think that people need to realize it's about the message. But if someone's
Yeah, I
uneducated,
think
it won't make a
Yeah,
difference.
I fully understand where you're coming from, and I agree with you. And that's where shit like gets tied up for me because it's like I know that these niggas on the right ain't changing the fuck shit that they saying, right? They've been screaming all lives matter since back in 20 fucking 12, 2013 when all this shit was popping off, right? And
Mhm.
it's like that ideology has not changed, but the problem was that their voices were not fucking strong, right? That wasn't more individuals who were independent, logical people, people who do their research, go to the ballot box with a purpose. These individuals would look at that phrase and say, okay, only a dickhead, maybe even a racist, would say something along the lines of all lives matter, right? We understand the utility in speaking on Black Lives Matter and why it was so important, especially at that time, but like forever, right? I know that that shit is not going to stop. The issue that I have is that when I say all white people are racist, some people would put that into the same category of saying all lives matter. That's kind of how they would put it. The all lives matter aspect coming from the right would be the same as all white people are racist as it pertains to the left.
Yeah, I think that
And I'm sorry,
go ahead.
just one more note before you go. We spent years, not just on this app, but on plenty of other platforms, trying to explain racism and how that operates. If it was truly working, I don't think we would have saw Trump in office. We would not have seen Trump in office either in 2016 or now in 2024, but we are seeing it. And so it begs the question of, is there even utility in trying to get people to understand from this aspect in the first place? Or do we need to redirect how we're delivering this message?
Ooh, hold on. Okay, so yeah, I think society is so uneducated around race that saying the wrong image or saying the wrong message can be counterproductive because uh no people will automatically get defensive about it in the first place. So if you were to say something that has more of a nicer sound to it, uh, but has the same meaning, then that could be better and more beneficial to progress. Um, I think that they're both valuable to say, but I guess if we're being more nicer about it, uh, or I don't know how to explain that, but I get what you're saying. Like, I guess we need to the sounding of it, the initial sounding of it needs to be better because like society itself is already too uneducated for us to like um I guess just make a difference with one little thing. I haven't even really thought about that too, so that's gonna be something I'm kind of like just sitting here thinking about.
You bring up some good fucking points there, T-Bone.
I'm sorry, I'm back. I didn't hear what she said. Hey, if you want to repeat
Yeah,
it.
it's all good. I was saying, I think, I think, I think you're right. We do need to question if it's counterproductive or not, because it's if something is too bad sounding, then it will be counterproductive, right? If something, how did I phrase it? Okay, something like all white people are racist. That has a very bad sound, and society itself around race is very uneducated, right? So everyone will automatically not want to do the research because they think that you're just straight up attacking them. So if you can get the same message with a different phrase, I think that that might actually be better. But um, that's kind of my answer. But I'm really kind of still thinking about it too, though.
I'm gonna respond to you in just a second, but Arawaka, I know you was speaking too, so you can go ahead before I respond to that.
No, you good. I was just complimenting you on your analysis on the left. You had some good questions, and it was a pretty decent breakdown.
So I guess the question that I have is how do we go about doing that? Because it's very hard for me to pacify the message of all white people are racist just so that I don't hurt people's feelings. Because I used to have this mindset of, nigga, I don't give a fuck about your feelings, right? And that's what to be fair, that's what the right is supposed to be predicated on, right? Facts over feelings. We don't give a damn about your feelings, right? But when we talk about individuals being racist by way of the system, all of that shit flies out the window. So it's clear that they care about the shit. I'm trying to figure out how we go about this, right? Do we say all white people benefit from the system? Do we say all white people are bigoted? Like, what's the new messaging here? Because I will make this background and say saying all white people are racist is counterintuitive, and people will not fucking like me. I promise you that. But I haven't done it yet because I don't feel like I have a logical replacement yet.
Yeah. Um, I think something like something like all white people benefit from the system. It's just it doesn't stick. Like people live off of like rage bait, especially like especially white people. White people are just gonna brush that off. You know, if someone's benefiting from the system, okay, like fuck out of here. Like, okay, I am. What are you gonna do about it? Like, they just brush it off, right? That's what people. I mean, majority of people don't even know they benefit from the system. So I think that pushing that message would be good. But at the same time, I don't think they would care. If anything, it might be better to even say that because if you're benefiting from the system, why would you want to change that? Why would you want to get that message out there more? But I feel like I feel like the more rage bait something is, the more it'll stick. But I think how do I put this? The best thing to say would be something that's pushing the best message and the best sounding. So yeah, like something like all white people benefit from the system.
T-Bone, I have a question and I'm just gonna drop so you guys can go ahead with your conversation. Um, are you raising money for STEM?
No, I forgot to take that back. Oh, well, actually, I don't know. I might be
Oh, okay.
number with her.
You might be okay, because that
It's
was my
not. It's
question. I didn't
not.
know if it
It's not
if it was going
necessarily for
towards
STEM.
STEM and who do we pay it to?
It's not necessarily for STEM. It's for that specific person because she was in a tight spot. But you know who the person is, so.
Yeah, okay.
Um,
So I could just directly. I think I still have her Cash App. So
do you know?
okay.
No, her Cash App doesn't work. Do you know who Glow is?
Oh, oh, Glow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you DM her, send that Cash App to Glow, or you can send it to me. It doesn't
Oh,
matter, and then we'll
I'll
send it
send it to
straight to
you.
her.
I'll send it to you. Me and Glow aren't friends, but yeah, that's all I wanted
Okay.
to know. Sorry I interrupted you. I just was confused by who we're donating to and how we get the money to them.
No, you're
That's
good.
it.
Yeah, and I'll
All
let her
right.
know because I appreciate that. Tacos gets 2 free entries into the raffle now. Just letting y'all know. Um, yeah, I was responding to what you said. Um, I think that I'm gonna get heat for this when I start doing it, but I do think that it's important to start changing this shit, specifically because I don't think we can afford to lose anymore. Republicans are going to damage our fucking society. And I think that if we do not start to change this so that Democrats are in office, we will see our society go into a direction that we do not want it to. And I would much rather, this just begs the question, would you rather change the messaging of all white people are racist by way of the system so that we can have individuals in the White House, in Congress, in the Senate, right, that are going to push our ideologies so that we can move forward? Amir, you didn't load in. I'm trying. There you go. So that we can have those individuals in office so that we can see for a progressive society, or would we rather have Republicans continue to run our society and have Trump do all this bigoted bullshit, removing brown people out of our country, raising, you know what I'm saying, all that extra bullshit, corporations going fucking crazy, and continue the attempt of educating people? That's the question that needs to be asked.
Yeah, I think it's the message. Um, for a while I was actually hosting that type of prompt, that exact prompt, all white people are racist, but I'm a I'm a kind of admit I do think it's a little counterintuitive. So I'm gonna start changing my prompt up if I do start going back live again. Um, or if I'm talking about it in person with someone, or like on a like some sort of whatever. But yeah, to answer your question, yeah, I think that for me, I'm gonna start changing the way I'm giving my message. I'm not gonna change the information itself. I've always been very educational around that. For the people who do want to hear my reasoning on that, and they always kind of just want to argue. So maybe they might not, maybe they might be more open-minded if they don't feel like they're being attacked. So I'm gonna start changing my message.
DM me as well, because once I figure this out, I'm gonna end up sending it to you as well. Because I've been talking about it as well. The change needs to start for us now. We can't start playing this catch-up game 2 years or 1 year before the election. So
Yeah,
anybody,
hear me right now.
yeah, bet. I added you too. You just sound like an educated dude, Brody, for sure. Sorry for calling you a bigot. I just thought you sounded similar. I thought you was a bigot, man. I swear it was, but that's my
Yeah,
fault. You definitely cool people.
yeah, for sure.
Anybody else want to get on the topic? Miss Dana J, Mr. Admir.
I mean, I
All
don't
right.
really
What's the
agree with the
topic?
whole MAGA. I don't really agree with the whole MAGA hates brown people rhetoric. I just think it's. I mean, there's some MAGA people that are racist, I guess. Well, I don't. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'd say.
The movement, it's funny to me. The movement around removing individuals from our country who are illegal, 99.9% stems from individuals that are black and brown.
Yeah,
Haiti.
is this a new movement, or is this something that's happened under previous administrations?
Well, I mean, if it has, you could show me that, right? But I'm
Yeah,
specifically talking about MAGA. Now, if this has been the case, you could show me where it's been the case.
where Obama was not pro deporting illegal immigrants.
Well,
He
yeah, sure,
was.
but I'm talking again specifically about how. So, is he saying, is Obama going on the campaign run and saying Haitian people are eating your cats and dogs, and Mexican people are coming over here and stealing your jobs? I don't
No,
think that
but
was
the
Trump.
actions.
But
But
to be fair,
so if you're just
T-Bone,
going
Trump
off of
never said that.
so if we're just going on, yeah, so Obama obviously
Trump didn't
wasn't.
say that the Haitians were eating the cats and
No, so I
dogs.
mean, if
Hold
you're
on, he
just
never
concerned
said that.
about this is what I think about liberals or
What?
whatever people on the left. They're concerned with how they look, but they don't really care about it for a little bit when it's convenient for them. When it gets inconvenient for them, they stop being concerned with how they look. But the actions are, I think, really would be what we should look at. Yeah, he didn't say as he didn't say as like
He never
that's
said Haitians are
inciting,
eating your dogs.
stuff that
Nope.
that's as insightful, I guess, inciting as what's the word, incendiary as Trump. That's true. But definitely, he spoke very vocally. I mean, I could pull up a video of him saying that illegal immigrants, you are not welcome here. We will be deporting you. All of that shit. And so
Yeah,
did
but
Hillary Clinton.
that's
She
talking
said
about.
she actually said you have to know English. So I mean, I guess.
Yeah, Hillary was a racist. Fuck, I don't give a shit. With
No,
that
no,
being
no.
said,
Obama said that.
I
Obama
didn't ever
said that
hear
he needed to
about
speak
it. Did he?
English.
But I know Hillary
No,
said. I've never heard
Obama,
Obama.
they both said the same thing. They both ran on that you must know English. If you came here illegally, you're going to have to pay a big fine, and you're going to get back at the order where you got people in Mexico who are waiting. You will go back in the order and all of that. So they were big on that. Both of them were.
I will have to see. When he said that. I know that this would have been back 2007, 8 that the campaign trail would have
Yeah,
been.
yeah.
No, he didn't. I've never heard him say the English thing, but he did say all that about immigration.
Yeah,
That he did.
I mean,
And you could go look at
with
his
that,
record too, because I mean, it wasn't. Neither was Biden's. The thing is, my
I
point being,
mean,
if you guys want to say MAGA or racist, if you said American, if you could say the
no,
American
not
movement is
necessarily that they're
racist.
racist, that they hate brown people.
Oh, hey,
Yeah,
I mean, I guess that would be
I
racist.
mean, because here again, when I talk about this campaign run, I don't think that again the target for and you could prove me wrong, the target for Hillary Clinton or for Obama when they're on the campaign run is not to talk about these individuals. You can say Trump didn't speak on the Haitian community. That's fine. When he said the people that are living there, right, the immigrants that are there, they're eating the dogs and cats. We knew that within the media they were specifying the Haitian immigrants. That's who they were talking about in Ohio. So when he's speaking on that matter, he is he doesn't if he's having these conversations about individuals coming from Europe, coming from Ireland, I'm understanding from this aspect now. You feel me? We're having a conversation around immigration as it pertains to its entirety and its system. I get that. But again, I don't hear Obama specifying these types of things and throwing this type of verbiage out about these individuals being so harmful to our country. I just didn't see it. And again, the reason I probably didn't see it was because I was more concerned about skateboarding and fucking in middle school than I was on politics. But I'm just telling y'all from what I saw in the campaign run, I never saw these things, even going back and looking into them. When we see, and RTP spoke on this in the debate as well, when we see that the individuals in the White House, when they're posting all of their shit and it's mainly geared towards these individuals that are undocumented, that are brown people, what conclusion are we supposed to draw?
Yeah, but the argument that you're having is all of them said the same thing in different way, if that makes sense. And they were all against immigration. Even Harris was against immigration. She spoke out about it in 2019, 2020, where she specifically said, if you're illegal, do not come. Do not come at all. And all of that. So it's just the way that Trump is saying it. I think that it's the, what's the word that I'm looking at? I don't even know what the word would be. It's just the optics of it, the way he's saying it. But essentially, they've all been saying the same thing.
I'm looking for clips right now of Obama saying the same thing. I haven't been able to find any, but I do know that it's way more ruthless when it's coming from Donald Trump. So I don't think anybody can dispute that. When he's talking about these individuals, there is no sympathy for anybody coming over that's trying to seek asylum. There's no sympathy
Okay.
for people whose children are affected by this system. He does not care.
So let
If
me
you
ask
are,
you. So let me ask you a question then. If I say politically correct, as if I'm on the stage and I say, "Hey, listen, illegal immigration will not be accepted into the United States," versus if I say, "Hey, listen, illegal immigrants are not accepted here. If you come here, you're going to be fucking sent back." So essentially, they're the same thing. It's just one is politically incorrect while the other one is politically correct. But they're saying the
you're
same
talking
thing.
about two things that would be teetering the line. Trump is not teetering the line. He is specifically calling out the specific places. He is talking about those individuals of a certain makeup and representation. He did it when he
Okay,
was
give me
in
an
office
example.
too. When it came down to the COVID situation, he bullied the shit out of fucking China, renaming the fucking COVID, right? Like he does these things to a drastic level. It's not where it's teetering the line to where we can interpret whether it was offensive or not. No, it was offensive as shit. And he knows what he's doing. He just doesn't give a fuck about it.
Well, I'm not going to disagree with you on that. He don't give a fuck what he says. I'm not going to. Yeah, I can't argue that. Let me see some here. I'm looking at that same one.
She said that her plan was the same. I need to see these things, tacos. She said that her plan was the exact same. As a matter of fact, on the website, I don't even remember her saying anything as it pertains to immigration.
Hmm. Alright, let's see. So I'm listening to both, and I stand corrected. Hillary's the one who said you must learn English. Obama didn't.
And
Oh, I didn't hear. I was just listening to both of them.
Obama's policies, however, he did violate their due process rights in the beginning term of his presidency, and like 40% of them in 2014, people that he deported had never committed a crime besides entering the country, not at an official port of entry. So, I mean, you could say what you want. If you call that hating brown people because people want the same policies that Obama put into place, okay, maybe so. I mean, there might be. I mean, there probably is a certain amount of hate towards immigrants that come here. I'm not going to lie. I don't think it's exclusive only to MAGA. And I also have seen a lot of hate from people on the left to immigrants that are brown people that disagree with them. I've heard them, mocking them and then being deported. So it's really, I mean, sure, you can say that, but it's not meaning it. It doesn't mean anything if it's, I think it's more of an American problem. And that's
Why
just
would we?
honest to God truth.
Why would? And I don't think it's American. Why would we, as the left, disagree with how deportation is taking place as it pertains to our immigration problem, but then hate immigrants? Like that doesn't make sense.
I think hate immigrants. First of all, I don't think the majority of people that I've interacted with on the left really believe the shit they spew. I think that this is a way for them to show or pretend that they are Antifa or they're against quote unquote racism, but you scratch them a little bit. I'm talking like white liberals, you scratch them a little bit, and the racism and the xenophobia and the bigotry all come out. They want to pretend like they're these compassionate people, but it's only when it's convenient for them. They don't.
Yeah, case in point. Yeah, case in point. People, and you were on their live.
In any way being inconvenient, and that's just the facts. I've been listening in. I spend a lot of time in left leaning lives, and I've seen the hate, the bigotry, the racism to anybody who does not agree with them, or even if they do.
I didn't want to get involved because I hate talking about politics. It annoys me, but like, I don't know if you're like trying to like provide detail or whatever, but every time you speak, Dana, you're not providing examples. You're just like taking general statements and trying to apply it
I could give you examples of how.
Could you do that, please?
I mean, it's just been my interaction with people. You'd have to give examples of how MAGA hates brown people.
Well, yeah.
Policies put into place under previous presidents.
Well, you're kind of going away from what I'm saying.
But I gave
also hold immigrants.
No,
right?
but I gave examples.
I gave specific examples of Trump on his campaign run and where he geared immigration towards. Like that messaging was towards we need to hate individuals who are from Venezuela coming into our country, Cuba.
Then why would he give them? Basically a free card to come here before anybody? Why did he sign an executive order basically giving them free loader in 2021
That
to Venezuelans?
Admir, I wouldn't be able to explain that to you because if that's the case, you're saying that he's the reason that this immigration problem is happening in Venezuela.
No, sir. I'm saying that he realized and he understood what happened in Venezuela because of what the American policies prior, not just to Obama, but going back to Clinton years, stood that these people needed help. And he said, you know what? Just come over here. We'll give you a TPI and we'll figure this shit out later, assuming that he was going to win 2021 election. He didn't win, and we know what happened then.
So, so he signs this order asking for Venezuelans to come into our country. They come into our
No. Allowing them to basically, before anybody, basically expediting their entry to the United States.
Right. Sorry
Yes.
about that. Yes. So he expedited their entry into the United States. Venezuelans then become a problem. And then he goes on a campaign run saying we need to remove Venezuelans from our country.
I don't think he ever said we need to remove Venezuela. See, if he did, you're gonna have to show me.
Well, no,
What he
I'm saying,
specifically targeted was what happened in Aurora and Fort Collins and a few other places, which were committed by Venezuelans. But that's just targeted little incidents. But he never said we need to specifically target the Venezuelans. He never said that.
okay, I understand
And if
that.
he did, you're gonna have to show me.
Right. Again, I'm specifically talking about the messaging, right? I'm not saying, so let me reword what he's saying then, right? One of the big reasons why we have an issue is because Venezuela is emptying their prisons and sending all of their people over here. Just to be clear, he said when Mexico is sending their people, they are not sending their best. References
Okay, so let's
Venezuela as well. So with that being said, he is saying that Venezuela is part of the problem as it pertains to the crime and our immigration system being broken. They're the ones who are manipulating this system, or one of the biggest components of individuals that are fucking over our system.
okay, but did he lie though? When he specifically said they're emptying their prisons and sending them over here, did he lie?
I don't know if he lied.
Well, I mean, we can look at the data and show how many people have arrived in the United States and those who were arrested, and we can tell how many of those were actually serving time who were released based on his executive order.
Oh, I would like to see that, because again, if that's the case, we're just bringing this back to Trump then again. This is Trump's fault. That's fucking crazy.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It just keeps circling back around. So, in my opinion, it's not. I don't blame Biden. I don't blame Trump. I don't blame nobody. I blame the system in itself. The system that we have right now is obviously not working. Because, and let me give you a perfect example. You've heard of the immigration code 1158, correct?
No, enlighten me.
Okay, so 8-1158 says, as long as you step a foot on the United States, you have the right to file for an asylum based on.
Yes, I do know
Yeah.
about that. You're right.
Yeah, but then it kind of contradicts because 8-1325 says you don't have the right to come to the United States to prior kind of like authorization.
Right.
So the system in itself is contradictory to itself. Because in one hand, you're telling them, hey, as long as you make it to United States soil, you're good to go. But then in the other hand, you're telling them, no. If you don't have private authorization, you violated a federal code. Now, granted, the penalty for it is like a civil, like $150 fine. But the actual crime in itself is a misdemeanor, which is one of the disqualifiers when you go get your asylum. So the system in itself is just stupid.
Yes, I think we would all agree on that. I think the problem just becomes how we fix the system and what we do about the current situation that we're in. And I just don't agree with how Trump is going about it. And I think that MAGA is utilizing the break in this system to try to jump on their true hatred for brown people. That's just how I feel. I think there's
So what's MAGA to you?
Huh?
What's MAGA to you?
Individuals who voted for Trump.
So you put everybody who voted for Trump as MAGA?
For the most, yeah. I think if you agree with the ideology of making America great again, that makes you MAGA.
Absolutely not, because I'm not MAGA. Because if you've been outside this country, you would know that America's always been great. Now, it's the perception on how you want to look at it. Because when they tell me make America great again, I'm like, well, how can you make it great again? To me, as an immigrant who's visited over 80 countries, realize that America is great. When you come back to the United States, there's no greater country than this.
So you're comparing it, and you're saying that since this is better than this, that makes that place great. So if you compare like a rotten banana to a banana that's like halfway destroyed, you're gonna say like, okay, maybe the rotten banana is better because it's got something, you know? Is that what you're trying to say, or?
Absolutely not. And I'm not sure how you're trying to correlate with that.
Because
That's
you're
not
comparing,
that's not what
you're
I
saying
said
that
at all.
all these other countries are destabilized or whatever.
I
and then
never
you're
said
saying-
that.
Because you're not actually providing any detail on the
Because
United
I said
States and
I've
how
been
it's
over
great.
to over 80. Listen to my words carefully. When I say I've been over to 80 countries in my lifetime, right? I visited from Middle East to Nordic countries to basically down to Johannesburg. I was able to see Johannesburg. I was able to see.
Well, so I just don't see. Okay, so okay, so since you were able to go to those countries and see how they were, see how the U.S. was so great, could you provide some detail on how it's great and
Sure.
maybe? Okay, so actually, I had a question. No, sorry. Yeah, actually, just answer that. Sorry, and I will.
Yeah, sure. So if I go, let's say for example, if I go to, let's see, I can go to any Nordic country, and I can't speak freely because they don't have freedom of speech. If I go over to, let's say, to Turkey, if I go over to Greece, if I go over to former Yugoslavia, which where I'm from, if I go over to Italy, I don't have freedom of speech. I can't walk up to a cop and be like, "You're a fucking pig." Here in America, I can walk up to a cop and be like, "You're a fucking pig." I can tell him whatever the fuck I want. Now, granted, you know, well, hold on, T-Bone. I know where you're going. That's why I was very careful. I know exactly where you're gonna push it. But when you go over there and you see the different ethnicity, the way women are treated, the way kids are treated, when you come back here, it's that sense of, okay, well, yeah, this country is a little bit fucked up, but nowhere the way it is over there, because you're not given the same opportunity at all. Now, you may argue that, oh, just because I'm white and there's another race, you might argue that, well, I don't have the same opportunity, but you're going to have to prove to me what policies and what, you know, executive orders are put in that says that T-Bone as a black man can do what I can as a white man.
So earlier you spoke on some imperfections in the system. Do you think with a lot of imperfections in a system, it can still be great?
No, because and like I said, that perfect example, on one hand, you're telling people they are allowed to come here as long as they make it. But then on the other hand, you're telling them, no, if you don't have prior authorization, you're not welcome here.
Right. So that's
it's
not a great
contradicted.
system at all, right?
Well, yeah, but we're talking about one system. We're talking about one system.
Okay. Well. Okay. So our whole. Okay. So our whole.
So hold on.
US
Before
is
you go
built
there, let me
upon
just
that
ask you,
system,
because I
right?
wanted to ask you something real quick. Okay,
Okay.
let me ask you this. So let's just hypothetically, you got let's just say a Mexican family that wants to come over to the United States.
Okay.
Part of the system tells them, hey, as long as you cross over here, you're welcome. You can file for your asylum. You go in front of the judge. Then you're gonna have to prove to the judge, if he says you're good, you're good. But then the other one, like I said, says prior to authorization, you can't come in here. Now, my question to you is this: does United States Border Control have the right to stop that person, even though the system says they're allowed to come in?
Do you mean just a stop or actually deport them?
No, because as I don't know if you ever dealt with immigration, but
I
if
have
you
not,
get
no.
caught, if you get caught on the border, even if you come through the correct border, you can still be deported right there and then.
That's not a very great country to do that.
Well, hold on, but it's the laws. So you can't say it's not a very great country. It's our laws. Just like you can't go over to Germany, and if you try to cross over, see what happens to you.
Do you think
Try to go
laws
over to
build a
Canada.
country?
Say what?
Do you think laws build a country? Like we have a foundation, right?
Well, it's a foundation, but I don't think it builds a
Right.
country. But you got to
Okay,
have borders to protect yourself. Tell me a country that doesn't have borders.
in order for us to have a functioning country, right? You have to have rules, regulations,
Sure.
a foundation, right? And if that
Sure.
foundation is messed up, that makes the country not great, correct?
Because it's not being enforced. The system would work if it was being enforced.
Okay, so if it was never
However,
okay, so if
neither Republicans or
that
Republicans
doesn't
want
make
to
sense.
enforce it.
That's a contradiction.
Well, no, it's not, because I can show you hundreds of examples. Because